Hey there, so a little update from Sarasota. It's about, let's see here, 5:30 on Friday. Just got back into town from the East Coast, where we, as many of you know, we were thankfully able to head over there prior to the storm, prior to the hurricane. Family friend's condo they made available to us, and we were able to ride it out there, which felt very lucky to have the opportunity to do so. At the time, the storm looked like it was heading directly for Sarasota, and we opted to just get our family and get out of the way. We're not necessarily concerned about the structure of the house, but we're more so worried about being a burden on resources in the event that things went, the way that they looked like they were going to go. By all accounts, I think we got extremely lucky. You can see over my shoulder some missing fence pieces, which is pretty prevalent in the neighborhood up here. A lot of shingles, little intermittent shingles here missing. But other than that, our neighborhood, I think, fared this thing insanely well compared to what we saw coming back up from Deerfield Beach, up 75. Ran into a ton of delays in traffic. There was a lot of areas that were not so great coming back up this way. We got lucky by all accounts, but a lot of folks south of us were not so lucky. Coming up through the outskirts of Fort Myers into Northport. Fort Myers is definitely the focus right now, but there's a lot of other areas, Northport, Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, that look like there's quite a bit of devastation. We saw a lot of people on 75 North that were launching airboats, canoes, kayaks into neighborhoods into Northport that were clearly flooded out from the street side, but they were able to get to them from the expressway. And I'll tell you what, probably one of the most heartening things that we saw the entire drive up 75, especially when we got into we're 75 south, where we were north of Fort Myers, is I can tell you that if you are in that area and you're wondering what's going on, if people know that you're in need, or if you've got family and friends that have been impacted by it, I can tell you that the cavalry's on its way. It was just bewildering to see the amount of trucks that were heading south with generators, water, gasoline, excavators, bobcats, telecom equipment. I think if I didn't say it, generators. There is a cavalry coming your way. Law enforcement, National Guard. There was just a caravan of resources and people that are heading into the impacted zone. So you're in good hands. I think you're going to be overwhelmed with the response that's coming. I'm going to be trying to figure out over the next day or two where maybe I can put some of my resources to help out those immediately south of me. Like I said, I was fortunate to come home and find my house intact, and a lot of people are looking for their house. So that's the update from Sarasota. I'll put a link in below here to the Florida State Fund that is raising money. I'm sure there's a ton of other places that can do it as well, but I know that this is a fund, as I understand, that's going to be putting a lot of direct those resources to where they are needed. So thankfully we're well. To those of you that are not, we're thinking about you an awful lot over here, and we're going to come out of this thing stronger than we went into it. Be well, folks.